There is a quiet, heavy truth about how we leave. It does not arrive with a loud theatrical crash. It is not born in a screaming match. It does not announce itself with shattered glass, thrown words, or slammed doors. It starts quietly, a silent click in the dark. Imagine you are sitting in your car. The engine is off. The driveway is dark, illuminated only by the cold blue light of your phone screen. You are staring at a single text message. It is a small thing, a delayed apology, a tiny insignificant lie, a forgotten promise. To anyone looking from the outside, it is a minor fracture, a common everyday mistake. But for you, the air instantly leaves the cabin. Your chest tightens. Your breathing slows to an imperceptible rhythm. A sudden, terrifying coldness washes over your skin, starting from the back of your neck. You do not feel white-hot anger. You feel nothing. A profound, absolute, freezing nothingness. In a matter of seconds, an internal switch flips. The person you loved, the friend you trusted, the partner you built an entire world with, they are gone. They are energetically erased. This is how you disappear, not physically, but psychologically. On the surface, nothing happens. You might even type back a polite, carefully measured reply. You might smile and say goodnight, but inside, a permanent, irreversible fracture occurs. The drawbridge is pulled up. The concrete is poured. The ghost is already made. It is easy to look at this sudden severance and judge it. It is easy to assume this is pure arrogance. They call it ruthless. They call it unforgiving. They assume you are sitting on a throne of impossible standards, casually discarding anyone who falls short of perfection, but they are entirely wrong. It is not arrogance. It is absolute exhaustion. It is not a lack of feeling. It is the terrifying reality of feeling far too much. You do not cut the cord because you do not care. You cut the cord because caring has become a lethal threat to your survival. A severed tie is not cruelty, but a bleeding boundary. Let us look at the heavy machinery behind this quiet execution. Let us name the invisible ghost running your nervous system. Psychology often refers to this sudden, absolute detachment through the lens of early adaptation. Dr. Gabor Mati, a renowned physician and expert on trauma, points to a profound biological truth regarding how we survive our environments. He identifies a core human conflict between two vital needs: attachment and authenticity. When you are young, attachment equals physical survival. If the environment is unsafe, inconsistent, or emotionally dangerous, a deeply intelligent system takes over. Mata observes that when forced to choose between maintaining a painful attachment and protecting the authentic, vulnerable self, our biology will eventually execute a brutal, calculated program to survive. Let us unpack this biological program. When the brain detects a familiar threat, it cannot handle nuance. Nuance takes time. Nuance takes precious, life-saving energy. If a predator is in the brush, you do not pause to wonder if it is simply having a bad day. You run. For you, an emotional mistake from someone you trust is not a simple social error. It is the predator in the brush. Your nervous system is operating in a state of chronic hypervigilance. It is constantly scanning the horizon for the exact moment you will be dropped, betrayed, or used. When that one mistake finally happens, the system validates its darkest, most ancient fear. See, the brain whispers, "I knew it." The mask slipped. They are just like the rest. You do not cut ties because you are malicious. You cut ties because your psychological immune system is in extreme overdrive. It immediately attacks the foreign body. It neutralizes the emotional threat before the infection can spread. This is an adaptation. It is a brilliant, tragic, life-saving adaptation. Long ago, you learned that giving someone a second chance was just a down payment on your own destruction. You learned that forgiveness was another word for volunteering to bleed. So your psyche built a guillotine. It is highly efficient. It operates flawlessly, completely without your conscious permission. The exact moment a core boundary is breached, the blade falls. You watch the head roll. You feel the immediate, intoxicating rush of safety. The fortress is secure, but the safety is a chemical illusion. You are not operating from a place of present-day power. You are operating from a place of deep, ancient panic. Your nervous system is reacting to a ghost from your past, wearing the face of the person in your present. It is not a moral failure. It is a biological mandate. The guillotine falls to protect a neck that already bled. Let us completely rewrite this narrative. Let us flip the mirror and look at the reflection hidden underneath. You have been told this trait is a deep, dark flaw. You have been told you are too harsh, too clinical, too unforgiving. You have been told you need to be softer, more flexible, more willing to endure the messiness of others. But paradoxical logic tells us a remarkably different story. This supposed flaw is actually a profound form of emotional intelligence. It is a dark, heavy, but necessary brilliance. Think about the brutal anatomy of emotional triage. You do not amputate a limb because you hate the leg. You amputate the limb to stop the poison from reaching the heart. Your ability to cut someone out in a single silent moment is not a lack of empathy. Paradoxically, it is an extreme, almost crushing form of empathy. You care so deeply, you invest so heavily, and you map the souls of others so thoroughly that your internal structure simply cannot survive a slow betrayal. You cannot tolerate the slow, agonizing poison of inconsistency. You cannot endure the quiet death by 1,000 paper cuts. So, you choose the swift strike of the sword. It is not an act of coldness, but a desperate, violent attempt to preserve warmth. It is not a refusal to love, but a terrifying reverence for what love actually costs your nervous system. You understand the absolute math of emotional investment. You know that letting the wrong person stay in your space, even for one more day, bankrupts your soul. You know that tolerating a lie today guarantees a betrayal tomorrow. When you delete their number, when you block their profile, when you look right through them like they are made of glass, you are not erasing them. You are rescuing yourself. This is the ultimate paradox. The most ruthless action is born from the most fragile vulnerability. You demand absolute loyalty, not because you are a tyrant. You demand it because your internal foundation is built on a fault line. One wrong step, one subtle shift in the tectonic plates, and the whole city crumbles into the sea. You are the master architect who burns down the entire house the moment you spot a single termite in the wood. It is extreme. It is isolating. It is violently misunderstood. Yet, it kept you alive when nothing else would. A burned bridge is a boundary drawn with heavy fire. But we cannot stop here. Let us look at the whole truth. Let us pull back the curtain on the unseen cost of this brilliant machinery, because holding the sword is incredibly heavy. Maintaining this perfect, impenetrable, flawlessly logical mask is the most exhausting job in the world. There is a deep, tearing internal dissonance. A silent, bloody war between the mind that demands absolute safety and the heart that starves for genuine connection. Let us look at your daily reality. Let us observe the quiet, hidden moments where the exhaustion bleeds through the armor. Scenario 1. You are lying in bed. It is late. The room is dark. You are mindlessly scrolling through your phone. You open your contacts and see a name you blocked months ago. You feel the ghost limb. You feel the phantom ache of the memory. You know you did the right thing. The logic is flawless. The calculation was correct. But the logic does not warm the bed. The logic does not hold your hand in the dark. You won the war. The threat is eliminated, but you are standing completely alone in the graveyard of your own making. Scenario 2. You are sitting across from someone new, a date, a potential friend, a new colleague. They are laughing. They are kind. The coffee is warm and the conversation is easy, but you are not really there. You are a sniper on a roof. You are quietly, clinically watching their mouth move, calculating the exact moment they will drop the mask. You are waiting for the inevitable mistake. You cannot just listen to their story. You are auditing their character. You are completely exhausted before the relationship even begins because you are already drafting the exit strategy in your mind. Scenario 3. You wake up at 3 a.m. The house is quiet. The security system of your mind is fully armed. Your boundaries are walls of solid titanium. Nobody can hurt you. Nobody can reach you. But in that crushing, heavy silence, you realize the terrible truth of the fortress. It is perfectly secure, it is entirely impenetrable, and it is entirely empty. You are perfectly safe, but you are suffocating in your own brilliant armor. The guillotine requires constant, daily sharpening. The watchtower requires a sleepless, hyper-vigilant guard. You are not just cutting them off, you are slowly, methodically cutting off pieces of yourself just to fit inside the bunker. A perfect fortress is a prison built from the inside. So, where do we go from here? How do we live with the ghost in the machine? I will not tell you to tear down your walls. I will not hand you a superficial, 5-step plan on how to learn to forgive and forget. That is an insult to the profound pain that built those walls in the first place. But maybe, just maybe, it is time to look closely at the guard in the watchtower. Maybe it is time to witness the part of you that holds the heavy scissors. There is no demand to drop your boundaries, but perhaps you can begin to soften the blade. The next time you feel that sudden, terrifying urge to sever a tie, the next time the internal temperature drops to absolute zero and the drawbridge begins to lift, just pause. Do not react. Do not send the final text. Do not pull the heavy lever. Just sit in the freezing cold. Notice the panic in your chest. Notice the ancient primal fear telling you that this one single mistake is the end of your world. Breathe deeply into that freezing space. Ask yourself quietly, is this the predator in the brush? Or is this just a shadow on the wall? Integration is not about becoming a dumping ground for the endless mistakes of others. Integration is about choice. It is about taking your hands off the biological autopilot. When you stop violently abandoning yourself, you no longer need to violently abandon others. You can look at a mistake and see it for exactly what it is. Just a mistake, a clumsy, pathetic, highly human error, not a lethal strike against your soul. You can hold the paradox. You can hold their flaw in one hand and still hold your safety securely in the other. Imagine the quiet, terrifying liberation of that moment. Imagine the profound relief of taking off the heavy armor, just for 1 hour. Imagine looking at someone who failed you in a small human way and deciding, against all your survival instincts, to stay. It is terrifying. It goes against every single wire in your nervous system. Yet, it is the only way to let the air back into the room. The true power is not found in the cutting. The true power is found in the terrifying capacity to bleed, to heal, and to remain. True power is not the severing, but the quiet staying.